Hello everyone, this is Suresh from Azure ADB. Today our topic is how to extract hour, minute and second from a timestamp column in PySpark. So first we'll see each function, what it represents. So first function is hour. If you extract hour unit from timestamp column or string timestamp column containing the timestamp. So minute, this function, what it does is it extracts minute unit from timestamp column or string timestamp column containing a timestamp value. And second function, it extracts the second unit from the timestamp column or string timestamp column containing a timestamp value. So from timestamp value, if you use hour function, it extracts hour value from the timestamp value. If you use minute function, then it will give you the minute from that timestamp value. So similar way, second also, seconds. So now syntax is, if you want to extract the hour, so syntax is hour, and inside that you need to pass the expression. Minute expression, second expression. So here we need to pass only expression inside the syntax. So here, what is this expression? So this expression is a timestamp expression, or you can say timestamp column. So what it returns is integer value. So since hour, minute, second, so it extracts separately as integer values. So in this video, I'm going to cover these are all the topics. So first one is by using timestamp column. So that means if I have timestamp column in my data frame, so then how to extract hour, minute and seconds from that timestamp column. And if I have string timestamp column, then how to extract hour, minute and seconds. So second scenario is using current underscore timestamp. And third one is using current underscore timestamp on data frame. Next, using hour, minute, and second filter. So how to filter the timestamp columns based on either hour or minute or second. At the same time, how to do aggregation functions. So mainly group by and some aggregation functions. Then we'll see how to write in SQL this query. So first, I'm importing required functions here. So mainly we required hour, minute, second, and for doing some additional operations, we required current underscore date, current underscore timestamp, to underscore timestamp, and for doing some aggregations, we required count. So my first scenario is if I have timestamp column. So if I have timestamp column, so I have two scenarios here. So how to extract hour, minute, and seconds from timestamp column. So in this here I have two examples. So first example is first I'm creating data frame by using this data. So here I have two columns. So one is ID and one more is a timestamp underscore string. So that means here I'm passing values as timestamp string. So after using this function spark.create data frame, so my output will be this, only these two columns. And if you observe, this data type is string type. So that is the reason we are calling this one as string timestamp. So but what I required output is I need in timestamp format. So here what I'm doing, I'm converting string to timestamp. So for that I'm using with column. Uh, I'm giving column name as timestamp underscore column. And here I'm passing the column. So this is the column I want to convert. And here I'm using dot cast timestamp. So here you can use either dot cached timestamp method, that means cached method, or you can directly use to underscore timestamp on this column. So either of the method is fine. So now I have my input column. It is in timestamp format. So this is in timestamp format. So here what I mentioned, how to extract hour, minute, and second from timestamp column. So now my input is timestamp column. If you see here, initially it is a string column, then it is converted to timestamp column. So now on top of this, how to extract the hour, minute, and second. So this is my sample data frame, that is this one. And on top of that, I'm using select statement. And inside that, I'm selecting the input column. That is a timestamp underscore call. So that is this one. So this call, timestamp call is here, this one. So whatever converted column that I'm taking as input. So on top of that, I'm adding three more columns here. So this is my input column. On top of that, I'm adding three more columns. So first I'm using hour function. So here, what is the syntax? So hour, and inside that I need to provide the expression. So expression means we need to provide the column name here. So what is my column name? That is this one, timestamp underscore call. And since I'm using select statement, I need to pass the alias as hour. So this column will generate hour column. So same syntax. So instead of hour, I'm writing minute here, and here I'm writing second here. So now how these values will get extracted. So first I'm using hour. If you see here date is there first, year, month, date, and T is there. After that, here it will start hour, minute, second, millisecond, and time zone. So from this value, so this is the hour value 11, and here 12, and here 12. So these 11, 12, 12, it extracting here. And at the same way, minute. So after minute, after hour, 01 is the minute, here 01, here 01. So all ones we are getting as minute. And at the same way, second. See here, hour, minute, second. So second is 19, 19, 19. So all 19s we are getting here. So now based on this timestamp column, I generated three more columns, that is hour, minute, second. And if you see these data types, hour, minute, seconds, so that is integer type. So my input column is timestamp, and I'm getting output as integer. So next, second example is, so my main thing is using timestamp column. So here what I'm doing, I'm creating one data, that is string of timestamp. Then I'm converting to timestamp. So other method to directly generate timestamp value by using create spark.create data frame, what we can do is, so inside this directly we can use a datetime function. So first I'm importing datetime function here, and datetime dot datetime. So this is datetime module in Python. So datetime dot datetime, and inside datetime I'm giving timestamp value. Since it is a date time, so we need to provide both date and time values. So that means this is a date, these three parameters, and these three parameters are time. So that means this is year, month, day, and this is hour, minute, second. So like this, I'm passing this many rows here, and my column name is this one, timestamp underscore call. And to extract hour, minute, seconds values, I'm importing functions here. So now uh, I'm I used here spark dot create data frame. So after that, what I'm doing, df dot extracted, that means on top of this sample data frame, I'm using select. So I'm using select function, and in this select, I'm selecting this one. So this is our input column. So on top of that input column, I'm extracting these three columns. So hour, minute, second, and this syntax, everything same as explained earlier. So if you display df dot extracted, you will get this is our input column and three other columns. This is our input column. So what I will do to explain, to visualize more better, here I'll try to display this one. So now what will happen? Now two data frames it will create. Means it will display two data frames. So first one is this one. And second one is this one. This one. So our first data frame will be single column, that is with timestamp underscore column. And in second data frame, we'll get all these four columns. So let it complete this one. Yeah. So my first data frame is this one. So only my input column, that is timestamp underscore col. So that is this one. And for this one, it will add these three columns here. See here, hour, minute, second. And this explanation is same. See, after T, hour, 4 is there, 10, 18, 22, 23, 17. So same values will get. At the similar way, minute also. So here 14, 9, 49, 59, 26, 37. And here second is 22, 16, 46, 26, 46, 39. Okay. So this is second example, how to create directly timestamp without converting. So next scenario is how to extract hour, minute, second from string timestamp column. So in first scenario, we took input as timestamp column. So now we'll see string timestamp column. So these are all my data, timestamp values I'm passing, spark dot create data frame, and I'm passing this data here. And these two are my columns. So one is ID, one more is timestamp underscore string. That is this one. So if I create a data frame based on this, I will get string data type here. See here, ID is ID is a string because we are passing as string, and this timestamp also we are getting as string, and you can see here also. So now my input column is now string timestamp. So now what I'm doing, so on top of this sample data frame, I'm using select method, and this code is same. So call of timestamp underscore string, that is this one. And on top of this, I'm applying three functions here, that is hour, minute, second. So what I will get same result. See here, this is string timestamp column and these three integer columns. And if you see it extracting hour here 11, 12, 12, and here 1, 1, 1, and seconds 19, 19, 19. So that means these particular hour, minute, second functions, it will work both on string timestamp or timestamp. So no need to convert this string timestamp to timestamp column. So it will work directly also. So next scenario is how to extract hour, minute, and seconds by using current timestamp. So that means from today's timestamp value, I want to extract the hour, minute, second. So for this, what I'm doing, so first I'm importing current underscore timestamp function here. So since I want to print current timestamp value, so here I'm using spark.range. So why I'm using spark.range? Because I want to print only one row. So this one, only one row I want to print. So that means no need to pass any data and no need to use spark.create data frame. So on top of this, I'm using select, and here I'm applying current underscore timestamp, and I give an alias as current underscore time. So this is my column name, current underscore time. So current underscore timestamp, what it does is it will print today's timestamp value here. Suppose if I run this one, so this is old date. If I run this one, so this is today's date, 2026 3:30, and this particular time, and you'll get timestamp data type. So now this is my input column. So on top of this, again, our code is same. So on top of this data frame, I'm using select method, and I'm selecting my input column, and I'm adding three functions here. So hour, minute, second. So we are extracting these three values here. So I'll try to execute this one so that latest dates will get updated. So this is about using current timestamp. Next one is using current underscore timestamp on data frame. So that means I have one CSV file. So this CSV file, I have this many columns. So this CSV file, I have this many columns. So now what I'm doing, so this is a df. On top of this, df dot with column, and my column name is this one, updated underscore data frame. And I'm by using this function current underscore timestamp, I'm creating this column. So now what will happen? It will add one new column here, that is updated date time. And if you see, it will be all same date will be there, today's date. So since it is old date, I will try to rerun this one. So after that, I will rerun this one so that these values, latest values will get updated. See here, today's date got updated. And since you used current underscore timestamp, same values will print here. So, and you can see this timestamp data type. And now on top of this newly generated column, so I'm using select and updated date time. That is, this is latest column. I'm selecting this latest column. And again, on top of that, I'm using three more columns by using these functions, hour, minute, second. Okay, so next, so since current underscore timestamp, it is printed same value for all the rows. So our hour, minute, seconds will be same values. And next one is how to extract, not to extract, how to filter the timestamp values based on these functions, hour, minute, second. So for that, I created one sample data frame here. So here I have some timestamp values here, that is data. And by using spark.create data frame, I'm passing this data here and my column name is timestamp. And if if I see the output of this one, my timestamp value will get as string timestamp value. So to convert from string to timestamp, I'm using here to underscore timestamp. If you see at the initial of the notebook, for one of the sample data frame, there I used column name dot cached timestamp. So there I used cached method. So here I'm using to underscore timestamp method. So that is the reason you are directly seeing this column as timestamp data type. Okay, so now my timestamp column is ready. And on top of that, I am adding three more columns, that is hour, minute, second. So this is my input column, and here 12, 8, 23, 0, 14. So hour it extracting. At the similar way, minute. So 30, 45, 59, 0, 30. At the same time, seconds. So here 45, 0, 59, 0, 0. So now hour, minute, second values are extracted. So now I want to do filter between two values. So here what I want to do, filter for rows where the hour is between 8 and 12. So here I want to filter based on hour. So in our column, I want to filter the values between 8 and 12. So what is the syntax? This is our data frame, that is this one, dot filter, and inside filter, my column is this one. So my target filter column is this one, call of hour. And here I'm using dot between, and I'm giving the range. So between 8 to 12 hours, I want to filter it out. If you see between 12 to between 8 to 12, so here one value is there, this one is there, and this one no. So only these two values. So this is out of range, this also out of range, this also out of range. So these two values it will get filter here. So 12, 8. At the same way, you can uh, do the filter based on minute and second also. So here you can change it to minute or second, and you can give the range. Okay, so this how you can filter the records based on either hour or minute or second. Now, how to do group by and aggregations here based on hour, minute, and second. So based on this sample, based on this data frame, so based on this data frame, what I'm doing here is I'm doing aggregation. So here I'm using group by on all these three columns, and dot aggregation. I want to get the count. So here I given count star, and since it is group by, I'm giving alias dot alias count. So group by on three columns. If you see here, so if you see this one particular row, so we have to see, is there any repetition of these three values out of 5? See, none of the thing is repeating, all are individual only. So that means we'll get total 5 groups. We had total 5 records, and we'll get total 5 groups. And what is the count? 1. So this is one group, we have 1. So this is one group, we have 1. Suppose if you update the data frame, maybe with the same value, suppose if I update my data frame here, So now what I did, I added two repetition values. So instead of 5, I will get 6 records. So 2 underscore timestamp is not defined. So I'll try to run the functions first. So then I'll rerun this one. So now we'll get 6 records here. So again, I will update this one. So here also we'll get 6 records. Okay, so now if you see in this group by, so first filter is, so filter between 8 and 12. So now currently it is filtered 2 records, no? So now we'll get 3 records. Why? Because we added one more 12 also here. So if I update this one, we get 3 records. And if you come to group by, so now this particular thing will get 2. Count will get 2. So here count is getting 2. And maybe I'll update one more timestamp. Maybe last one I will update as 3 times. So now total count become 8. And I will update this one also. Here also will get 8. And now if you filter, we'll get same 3 only because 14 is updated. So that means 8 to 12. So this filter condition, it won't affect. We'll get only 3 records. And if you do group by, the last one, the count will get 3. Okay. So like this, we can use aggregation functions here. And our last scenario is how to use SQL query. So df underscore cts. So we'll see where this function is. See, if you want to search anything, just double click on this and use Control F. As soon as you do Control F, so here it showing 8 of 8. So that means this particular function, it is repeating at 8 places. So just click on up arrow. So here one is there. So even though it is under underscore final, full name is there, but still it's showing. So we need to search properly. So this is our actual df underscore cts. So here we have only current timestamp. We'll see further. Okay. So that particular data frame I'm creating as temporary view by using create or replace temporary view, and I given view name as time underscore table. So now this particular view I'm calling through SQL. So here two options we can do. So either you can do through SQL or you can do through spark.sql. See, if you are doing spark.sql, so you can write within Python only. Suppose if you want to do as SQL command, then you can write it in separate cell by using %SQL. Okay. So first I need to run this one. It will get error. So first I will run this one. See, this same thing we created view here, and after that I used spark.sql. So spark.sql within Python cell you can write it. So here what is the code? Select current underscore time. So that is this column, our input column. And from input column, I'm extracting three more columns. That is hour, minute, second. So in SQL also same syntax, hour of column name, that is this one. So minute of column name, second of column name from this table. from this table. Okay, so if I rerun this one, so here you will get same result. So this same result will get. So this is one way. Okay, so we covered almost all the scenarios here. So that's all about this video on how to extract hour, minute, and second from timestamp column. So if you really like this video, please like and subscribe. Thank you.